Respected friends, welcome you all. Salutations, greetings, gratitudes, congratulations, wishes, and prayers. May our this Adhyatmika Shravana Adhyayana Manana Chintana lead us to the clear understanding of the truth, and we remember it always and know and do the due sadhanas to be done to reach out to it. Here we are studying Yoga Vaashishtha Maharamayana Trutiya Utpatthi Prakaranam Leelopakhyanam GIRI GRAMA VARNANAM. Before that, only Chidakasha is real, everything else is Chitta Kalpitha. The truth is once more emphasized as an answer to Sri Rama's Prashna that how did they break open that very strong walls of the Brahmanda Mandala. That topic we are seeing just last 2 3 shlokas. Then we go to that simple description of that Giri Grama. The mountain is described, the Grama is described, the people are described, the women folk are described, and as they in the Grama, in their simplicity and resourcelessness, poverty, as they live, that is being explained. Let us start our study with our Mangalacharana Shloka Ityadi. ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मभक्तियोगधर्म विद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्व वेदान्ताः सच्चास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ॐ श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनामवरानने ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मभक्तियोगधर्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे श्रीवसिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपा अनुग्रहेण उपनिषत् योगवासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुति स्मृति पुराणेतिहास संतवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थम तत्रोक्त ऋषि मुनि गुरुदेवता दर्शनानुग्रह अनुभव प्राप्त्यर्थम सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थम धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्रीराम मंदिरवत शिवकृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् अनादारभ्य वैदिकैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री राम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण मोक्ष प्रकरण स्मृति शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्न मुक्त्यर्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः ॐ सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखघनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं परं पदं ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्धिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये ॐ श्रीरामचन्द्र परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीवसिष्ठादिऋषिभ्यो नमः श्रीयोगवासिष्ठमहारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम लीलोपाख्याने गिरिग्राम वर्णनं नाम अष्टाविंशतितम सर्गः श्री राम उवाच श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच तो friends Rama's prashna was how come they have come out of or went out of this Brahmanda which is so dense strong breaking that wall how did they go. So, where is the wall to the Brahmanda is Sukshma wall. They are also in the Sukshma Ativahika Sthiti. So, like in the Swapna, for the Swapna Purusha, the Swapna wall is unbreakable or he cannot pierce through that. So, too, they are in the Ativahika Narayana Sthiti. Then Brahmanda also is in the Sukshma Rupa. How did they cross it? Then Vasishthaji answered, where is Brahmandam? Where is the wall? Where is that Vajrasarata in that wall? And none of these are there. All of them are Chitta projected only in the Devi Antapura Panjara Ambara. In the Devi's Antapura Akasha only, all of them are projected. So then all this is explained. Okay, so in the Giri Grama, Brahmana Gruha, Brahmana Brahmani stayed. When they died in that Akasha only, they become Raja Padma as well as Rani Leela. Then in that Akasha only, uh, the whole Raja they was there, they lived in it. Again in that Akasha, Raja died and became the other Suratha, what is his name? Viduratha Raja. To see whom she went, but they did not recognize her. Now also in this Chitta Ativahika Deha, they travel to all those places. Therefore, it's all in the Kalpitha Jagat only, all this happening. They are not actually there. That is the topic under discussion. So then what? Katakayateham. So from the ninth mantra we see कि ब्रह्मांडांत ब्रह्मांडात परिनिर्गत्य स्वगृहे स्थिति मायव. In this way, with the kalpita dehas, they have gone into those kalpita lokas and came back to uh, their own swagruha of that mandapa. Later on, स्टोरी तो पूरा कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ, बट राम जी ने बीच में पूछ ली, वशिष्ठ इज टोल्ड Example given is Swapnat Swapnantaram Prapya Yatha Talpagata Puman. So Puman is Talpagata. He is sleeping only on the cot. But he entered into a Swapna, from that Swapna into other Swapna, or in that Swapna only as a Swapna Purusha, another dream. In this way, Chitta Kalpita Lokas. Underline that. Then Pratibha Matramevaitat Sarvamakashamatrakam. So Sarvam Akashamatrakam. Everything is Chidakasha Swarupa. Other than that, whatever the Sukshma various Lokas, Brahmandas, everything seen, Pratibha Matram. Pratibha means only expression, only projection, not real. Therefore, na brahmandam na samsaro na kudyadi na durata. Therefore, there is no brahmanda, there is no the lokas and samsara, the brahmanda kudya, and not any of the distances. Now, who can reach to that stage of deeply analyzing and understanding that all these things in which we all were living so far are nothing but kalpita, none of them are really there. How much deep inquiry one has to do to have the intellectual understanding, then through the set sadhanas, this zone of identifying with the kalpita upadhis is crossed, and kalpita is always on the adhisthana tadatmya is reached. When one reaches that, from that standpoint, all these sentences come. Like a waker says, all the dream world was only imagination. Okay. Swachittameva kachati tayostadrung manoharam vasanamatra sollekam kwa brahmandam kwa samsrutihi tayoho tadruku manoharam. For both of them, that type of brahmandas and lokas and travel, swachittameva kachati. Their own chitta is the one which has projected all of them. Vasana matra sollekam, the all that is because of vasana sankalpas only. Otherwise, kwa brahmandam, kwa samsrutihi. Where is the brahmanda? Where are all these happenings called as samsara in that brahmanda? Okay. Therefore, what is there, O Lord? Vaashishtha is asked as if by Rama. Vaashishtha says, Niravaraname vedam jnaptyakasham anantakam kinchit swachittenoonnitam spandayuktayva marutaha. This is where we stopped yesterday. It's a very, very sublime topic we were trying to discuss. Mhm. Mhm. कि निरावरणम एव इदम ज्ञप्ति आकाशम अनंतकम. What is there is Jnapti Akasha, pure conscious space, and it is infinite Anantakam. And Niravaranam, there is nothing which can do the Avarana to this Akasha, Chidakasha. But in that Chidakasha, when the Chidakasha is not known as Chidakasha and myself, from that avidya is the outcome called Chitta, and the Chitta Spandana is the entire Brahmandas with Desha, Kala, Vyakti, and because of Kala, the various modifications. So, like Spanda Yuktaiva Marutaha, because of the Spandana appearance of the space, space only appears to be the Vayu. A very subtle example is given. So, what is there is, please catch it. Jnapti Akasham Anantakam Niravaranam Eva Idam. All this is that is like any number of waves you see of different sizes and the ripples, bubbles. Don't we say that all of that is this substratum water only? That little subtle intellect has to be there to catch these points. Here also, let all Brahmandas be there, but they're all projected. What is real is Niravarana, that Jnapti Akasha, which is Ananta. Okay. Then the nature of that Chidakasha is said Chidakasham Ajam Shantam Sarvatraiva hi Sarvada Chitvadi Jagadiva Bhati Chitvat Jagadiva Bhati Swayamevatmanatmani. This is what is important topic to be little pondered over. Ki Chidakasham. The pure Chit consciousness is Ajam. Neither it has a cause from which it has come, it is always there. Ajam, nor it got modified to become something, nor it has given projection, birth to something out of it. That's called as Ajam. And that is Shantam. In that, there is no Ashanti or disturbance of any sort. Like in the Vayu, there is disturbance. Sometimes that's why the wind blows fast. In the Jala, we can see the Ashanti, which is seen in the form of waves. We can see because of the winds, the trees moving Ashanta. Bhumi also once in a while kampit hoti hai. Shant se nahi Ashant. But then this pure conscious self is Ashant. It is always Ajam and Shantam. It is absolutely Shantam, undisturbed, unmoved. Sarvatra hi. Sarvatra means in whatever the things which are moving, changing, disturbed, we see in them as the substratum, this Chidakasha is there, and in and through all of that, it is Shanta only and Sarvada always. See, this is what is given in our Upanishadic mantras. Ki nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman tamatmastam yenu pashyanti dhiraha tesham shanti shashwati netaresham. And also such beautiful mantras, so many in the Upanishads come. Again, I am repeating. Chidakasham is Ajam, Chidakasham is Shantam, Sarvatra eva hi Sarvada. Always it is birthless, it is never a cause, and it has no Ashanti modifications that happened in it whatsoever. Then what? Chitvat Jagat Iva Abhati. Chitvat means it is. The Chitta, because of whose sankalpas, without itself changing, the Parabrahma Chidakasha only, in the form of Jagat, it abhati. The chitta of vrittis of ahamidam. Somehow if we transcend, like sleep but without going into that sleep avastha, what we see is the pure janmadirahita shanta chidakasha only. So chitvat jagadiva abhati swayam eva atmana atmani. So all these are words to explain various Upanishadic mantras, quotations, as well as lot of deep explanation has to be done. In fact, in this one sentence, many Upanishads are filled up, or Upanishadika Saramsha is given. Okay, and always remember, wherever the Srushti Vada is explained in Upanishads from that Paramatma, it is to draw our attention from the seen Jagat into Paramatma. That is a prakriya. Other than that, it is not said. Or the meaning of saying the Srushti Vada is not to say that Srushti really happened. So, Chidakasham Ajam Shantam Sarvatraiva hi Sarvada. Sarvatra, all places, Sarvada, all times. Ajam, Janmadi Vikarahita, Shantam, at peace, Chidakasha, pure consciousness alone is there. Point one clear. Second, Chitvat Jagat Iva Abhati, Swayameva Atmana Atmani. That's why, see that before creation, Paramatma alone was there. Nobody were there. Therefore, nobody had made the creation. Nobody is there to prompt Paramatma to create the world or appear, make the world appear. Then if nobody is there, then who must have done it? Swayameva, Atmana eva, Atmani. Swayameva by himself, Atmana eva, by his own sankalpa, Atmani, his own self, in his own self, Tata Paramatma, Jagadiva Abhati, appears in the form of this Jagatu. That's the most beautiful, important thing. That is what is said in So Kamayata Bahustyam Praja Yeti इत्यादि तैत्तिरीयोपनिषद और आत्मा वा इदमेकमेव अग्र आसीत सा असृजता in Aitareya Upanishad or in many of the Upanishads. Okay, so Paramatma with his own Maya Sankalpa Shakti on himself only, he is projecting all this Jagat without himself going through any modification. This is the toughest thing of Vedanta to understand, but not only by repeated listening, but also when we start having some deep contemplative mood, then that thought will be realized. Even if it's not realized, on the strength of Upanishadic authority, we believe it. Having believed it, we keep away the Jagat as Kalpita Mithya, then try to focus on reality. When we realize the reality, what was believed earlier on the strength of Shraddha is directly known or experienced. And what is experienced? Everything is unchanging Brahman. Yet on that, the world is appearing without being created. That's how it is. Chidakashamajam shantam sarvatraiva hi sarvada chitva jagadiva bhati swayamevatmanatmani. Now, Bhagavan Vaashishtha says through Rama to all of us, Yena buddham tasyait buddham tu tasyaitat akashadapi shunyakam namuddham yena tasyaitat vajrasara chalopamam. May God give me strength to explain this and may you all have the strength and knowledge to understand it. What he says, Yena buddham tu, the one who is awakened. See, buddham. Today in our uh, one class and day before in the morning class too, we have seen the Buddham, the awakened soul. So Yena Buddham to the one who has awakened to the reality, Tasya, for him, Etat, the entire Anantakoti Brahmandas are Akashadapi Shunyakam. Nothing but Shunyat in the Akasha, which is mind. Shunyat in the mind is the pure Brahman only. So Akasha se bhi shunya sukshma hai, pure consciousness. So for the one who has awakened, to him yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadayah, or anything whatever he sees is nothing but Brahman. So Akashadapi shunya, Brahman alone is everything to the one who has awakened. And who will become awakened? The one who realized his self. Who realizes the self? The one who becomes antarmukha. Who becomes antarmukha? Whose chitta is shuddha. And whose chitta is shuddha? The one from whose chitta entire raga dveshadi durgunas have gone away. How do they go away? Only through the karma yogas, bhakti yogas, etc. So through karma yogadi, bhakti yogadi, the one whose antakarana has become shuddha, when he becomes antarmukha, then he awakens to that sadvastu. When he awakens to that sadvastu, all the earlier seen Brahmandas for him, by him, or the world that is seen by him, appears to be more sukshma than Akasha, that is, that pure Chit Brahma only. Now, the one who has not awakened to that reality, Nabuddham Yena, the one who has not awakened to that reality, Tasya, to him, Etad, this entire Brahmanda, and in these all these lokas and the Bhumyadi, all of them are Vajrasara Achalopamam. That will be as strong as Vajra and as stable as the mountain. So, the strongness, the solidity are only in the solidified Ajnana Janita Sankalpa of the Chitta only. But when one awakens to that reality, That alone is there. There is no thing called as Stula, Sukshma or Karana. Important topic. Got it now? In this way, this shloka is said. Then, Gruhe eva yatha swapne nagaram bhati bhusuram tathaitadasa devantaha chiddhatau bhati bhaswaram. Another important shloka to convey same thing. So, gruhe eva yatha swapne. So, you are in your gruha, on the bed, you are trying to sleep, swapna came appear to you. There, bhusuram nagaram bhati. Bhusuram Nagaram Bhati means a fully dynamic town village is projected in your own dream, where you are sleeping on the bed in the room only. Gruheva. So, this is my gruha. There is a palang. I am sleeping on that. A dream came to me. In that, Bhusura Nagara is seen by me. A very vibrant, dynamic city of all happenings. From this only, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam or Swapna Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam. All these are explained. So it's our everyday experience. If you understand it, likewise, same way, tatha, in the same way, etat asat eva. The entire world, basically from its own standpoint, being asat unreal, chit dhatau. In that chit dhatu, in that pure substratum consciousness, bhati appears bhaswaram with all its brightness, brilliance, and tempting us to take it as reality. Clear? In my room, on the bed, in the sapna, entire nagara. In the same way, in the pure Chidakasha, out of Sankalpa or Ajnana, the entire world is projected. That's it, not real. To make it more clear, an example is given. Yatha marau jalam buddham katakatvam cha hemani asat sadiva bhati idam तथा दृश्यत्वमात्मनि. देखो, यथा मरौ जलम भाति. Just like in the Marubhumi, the sandy land, jalam. Yatha maro jalam buddham. The water appears. Katakatvam cha hemani. Just like in the gold, the katakatvam, the bangleness, kada. Though the kada is asat, but abhati. Though the water is asat, but abhati. And till the sat, the gold is realized, till the sat, the sand is realized, these appear to be sat only, but they are actually asat. So asat sat iva bhati idam tatha drishyatvam atmani. Just listen this sentence, please, that the entire drishyata and the drishya saying corresponding drashta, both of them are atmani bhati. On the self, it is projected. This is what, as a spiritual seeker, intellectually we have to understand. This is what on the seat of meditation we have to, by realizing the reality, realize the unreality of anything other than the reality. That's the whole Vedantic goal. What is the Adhyatmika Sadhaka's Lakshya? His Lakshya is to realize the self, after which, other than that, everything is, if it is there, appears only, but not real. Then, to understand these sublime truths, one has to go through the Vedantic inquiries. That I may wear the necklace, I may wear the ring, the earrings, or maybe a bangle. But deeply, if we go into the substratum, in all those so called abhushana, gold is intact. Before ornaments molded, gold alone was there. When the ornaments melted, gold remains. In between, when the ornaments are put by us on different parts of body, that time also gold alone is there. So, vichitra hai ki nahi? If all the time gold is there, where is the ornament? You think. So, in the absence of deep thinking, in the absence of the understanding born out of the deep thinking about the presence of the substratum only all the time, in the absence of that knowledge, that various ornaments are projected. Funniest part is what? They are utilized in various parts of the body. Because of that utilization aspect, the ornamentation is given little more importance and value. Because of that, the ornament alone is real to such an extent that gold is forgotten. Example is this whole universe. In the place of gold, pure conscious self. Always that alone is there, Chidakash. In the absence of its experience and deep analysis, these old of names and forms, Dvaita is projected. And after projecting, we are only holding on to it as if it is real. अब देखो कितना मुश्किल है इस बात को पकड़ने के लिए, क्योंकि we are in that strong notion delusion of the world being real. Like the snake is real for us, and with that concept of snake is real, so much we jump with fear and all. You know, at the time of snake scene and one is so afraid, an iota of also thought that it can be something other than the snake, perhaps it may be the substratum rope. That thought will never even come. You and I listen every day in the class the example of Rajju Sarpa Bhranti. Therefore, little familiarity we got. Imagine the one who never attended any Vedantic class. Suddenly he saw a snake and so much afraid. At that time of fear and pasina, sweat, etc., for him that snake is so real. An iota of even wee bit of way distant thought also never comes to him that it can be something other than it, other than snake, and that may be rope also. You see that? Hope you are understanding. Hmm? Only it is when somebody who has seen it as rope comes and tells him 100 times, then out of his faith on the person who is pleading, he just feels it can be something other than snake. Okay, then with all the parameters, all the instruments or medium of knowledge told by that person, when he finally goes near to it and touches it, then he understands it that time that it is only a rope. Then after there is never was a snake. Even when I was fully believing that it is a snake, at which time there was not even iota of a distant trace of doubt also is not there in my mind that it can be a rope. In the same way, all of us are taking the world like that person took the snake as real, the whole world as real to such an extent that a wee bit of distant thought also is not there in the mind that this world can be something other than as we see it called as the substrate. The rope there is only one who has seen the Sadguru, the rope as rope. Here, the Sadguru has seen the self as self, the reality as reality, truth as truth. Comes and tells us, and do you think we listen at all in the beginning? We never. Do you believe? We never. It goes on for 100 lives. After that only, some powerful guru coming and powerfully telling, a little movement happens in us in such a way that, yeah, there may be something other than this Jagat. After that, more exposure, more thinking, more contemplation, more listening. Slowly, by following the techniques given by that Guru, we will as come to realize the reality. To that extent, the reality given world gets faded away as we are realizing the rope as rope. The imagined snake slowly gets faded away, along with all the bhaya, dukkha, anubhuti which it gave. Here also, the raga, desha, karma phala, janma, marana, so many drama just slowly starts disappearing as we realize the Brahman, therefore we realize The Jagat's Mithyatva Asatyatva. This is what Vedanta. That is the meaning of or the purpose of all these examples that are given. So, yatha marau jalam buddham katakatvam cha hemani. As we see the water in the mirage and the ornamentation in the gold. Asat sadiva bhati idam tatha dushyatvam atmani. In the pure self, though never existing, the drushya drashta are appearing. This is how to Rama's Prashna Vasishtha gave answer. Now attention is shifted to the story. In this way, both of them, Leela and Narayana Saraswati Mata, came out of that Griha Akasha, Griha of those that Giri Grama, having blessed those people. So they traveled the Brahmanda. Then they came back onto across the Brahmandas, all the lokas came back onto the earth. In that earth, they went to Giri Grama. In that Giri Grama, Sukshma Rupena they entered. Then they did the Sankalpa and they appeared. And then there was discussion. They blessed them. To them, they disappeared there for the people. Now, from there, they came out. When they came out, they saw the Giri Grama. That's how from here the Giri Grama Varnana starts, which is the title of this Sarga. It's only a description. So first the mountain in front is explained, then the entire Grama, then within the Grama the people, and among the people the generally the women folk with all their looks of poverty, etc. That's how this whole Sarga continues. Let's see क्या क्या दिखाएंगे हमको. Okay, start. एवमा कथयन्त्यौ ते ललने ललिताकृति गृहात् निर्ययतुर्बाह्यं चारुचङ्क्रमणक्रमैः. So evam, in this way, lalane, those two women folk, lalitakruti, most beautiful ones, uh-huh, uh-huh. Evam akathayantyau, in this way, discussing, talking to each other, gruhat, from that Brahmana graha, niryayatuhu, bahyam, came out to, charu chankramana kramahi, with their most beautiful steps in that Chirakasha, with their ativahika dehas, putting those steps, they come out of that Brahmana graha. Okay. Then what they saw? Adrushye gramalokena prekshmane puro girim chumbita kashakuharam sprushtaadityasya mandalam. Adrushye gramalokena. Inside also they became adrushya. When they came out, they were not seen. They are in the adrushya rupa only to everyone. Then adrushya gramalokena is a continuation of above shloka, wherein they came out of the room not seen by anyone. From here starts Girigrama. Prekshamane Puro Girim. First of all, Puraha in front, when they came out of the house, they saw the Giri, the big mountain. Like if you have your houses in that mountain areas, आप दरवाजा खोल के देखो तो आगे इतना बड़े बड़े पहाड़ शिखर दिखते हैं कि नहीं. So that's what they were saying. So प्रेक्षमाणे पुरः गिरिम, they saw a mountain in front. Chumbita akasha kuharam. That mountain is so big that it is touching the akasha kuhara only. Sprushta adityasya mandalam, and also touching the aditya mandala. इतना बड़ा पहाड़ उन्होंने सामने देखा. So first that mountain varnana, then the Girigrama varnana. Then Nana Varna Akhila Utfulla Vichitra Vana Nirmalam Nana Nirjara Nirharada Pujad Vana Vihangamam. So Nana Varna with various colored, Akhila so much infinite, countless, Utfulla fully blossomed, flowered, Vichitra Vana Nirmalam. So in that mountain, so many vanas, in that so many trees, into which so many colored, fully blossomed flowers. So see, you can imagine from this description that Giri and then Grama. So Giri Varnana will be done first, then Grama Varnana. That's why it's called Giri Grama Varnanam. Nana Nirjara Nirharata. Also from that mountain, so many Nirjara, the waterfalls and water flows are coming down, making beautiful sound. And Kujad Vana Vihangamam. All the forest birds, naturally, where there are trees and waters, they have the life. So they are there making beautiful Kujat, the Ganam, isn't it? As now you see, the Vasanta Rutu is coming. We can see mornings before that mango season starts. तो कोयल का आवाज शुरू होता है. अभी यहाँ शुरू नहीं हुआ. I was seeing every year last 6 7 years. But क्या है ना, बड़ा सा beautiful neem पेड़ was there. They removed it. I am just observing where will it be this year. It will find another tree and will make sound. So Kujat Vanavihangamam. So that mountain full of forest with flowers and trees and the waterfalls and the birds making sound. Vichitra Manjari Punja Pinjaram Budamandalam Sabhramacha Guluchagra Vishranta Khagasarasam. So Vichitra Manjari Punja. Manjari is Guldasta or Pusponka Gucha. Punja means like that the bunches of flowers are bunches, bunches, bunches again. Right? You can see in the grapes वाला उसमें भी ना orchard में whatever you call one grape का इतना गुच्छा next में इतना इतना ऐसे 10 मिलकर एक गुच्छा होता है. So Vichitra Manjari Punja Pinjara Ambuda Mandalam. Ambuda Mandalam, the entire Megha Mandala was also in different colors because of the mountain so big, Meghas are around it, the mountain trees, flowers, their color may be reflecting on the clouds, so different colored clouds. Sabhramacha Uluchagra Vishranta Kagara Sagaram. So Kagasarasam. So in that heights of the trees, all the khagas like sarasa, etc. are aram se uh, taking rest. Or the huge trees with their bunches of the flowers appearing like Meghamandala, and there these words aram se taking the rest. Then Sara Vanjula Vistara Gupta Kila Sarittatam Asamapta Shila Shobra Lata Vartana Marutam. So Sara Vanjula Vistara Gupta Akila Sarittatam. So there are Saritas, but Sarita Tata are Gupta project. They are hidden because of Vistara, well grown and well spread and dense trees as well as the creepers. है ना, वो दिखते नहीं आपको, थोड़ा डिस्टेंस देखो, the waters are flowing, but you can't see. Like typical example of Kerala, if you go, the backwaters are there, small little rivulets are there, but so many of the green trees there, चाहे वो बनाना ट्री हो या रबर के ट्री हो, कोकोनट वाले ट्री हो, इलायची का हो, वो इतने सारे हो, because of the fertility of the land and waters, so much dense they are all that you can't see that rivulet or the river flowing. Very minutely when you listen, you may listen to sound. Somebody will have to tell you. You might have seen it. Like that was those rivers unseen. Sara Vanjula Vistara Gupta Akila Sarit Tatam. The सरिताओं के तट दिख ही नहीं रहे थे. उतना गुच्छे गुच्छे में all the shrubs and plants and all. असमाप्त शिला शुभ्र लता वर्तन मारुतम. So, because of that, the wind also has no place to move because within that mountain, variety of these small mountains, उसके बीच में हवा भी बंद पड़ा है ना. You can see when you go to the caves, etc. The closed air there, it has different warmth, different smell also. पता चल जाता है कि यहाँ जैसे आप अपने घर से 15 20 दिन कहीं गए, सारे खिड़की दरवाजा बंद करके, when you come inside the room, first time when you open, you have a different smell, knowing, you will know it that here the wind was blocked. So that sort of thing. Then पुष्पाग्रपीताकाश कोशकुड्यकवारिदं पतद्दीर्घसरित् स्रोतः स्फुरन्मुक्ताकलापकम्. Hmm. So Pushpa Agra Pihita Akasha Kosha Kudyaka Varida. So Akasha Kosha Kudya hai Varida clouds. All these clouds are as if covered by these bunches of flowers which are there on these trees, which are also tall, but more than that, those tall trees are on that very tall mountain. Patadirga Sarit Srotaha. From the very heights, the waters were falling. Spuran Mukta Kalapakam. So the water that is sprinkled from that waterfalls is looking like the Mukta, the मोतियों की तरह. तो झरने में आप देखोगे ऊपर से पानी गिरने का. How many times we enjoyed it during our so many Chardham Yatras or any North Indian Himalayan trips and travels. Even in Dakshin, maybe there are mountains there also. So beautiful it is. So the water coming, ऊपर से गिर रहे हैं, थोड़े से छींटे इधर गिरते हैं, तो wherever they fall, it looks like a moti. So स्फुरन मुक्ता कलापकम, तो पानी मुक्ता की तरह, मुक्ता means मोतिया. So चलद वृक्ष वन व्यूह वातवेल्लि सरितटम. So चलद वृक्ष वन व्यूह वातवेल्लि सरितटम नानावनाकुलोपांत छाया सतत शीतलम. So चलत वृक्ष वन व्यूह वात वेल्लि सरितटम. So saritatas, there are vrukshas. The vruksha branches are beautifully moving because of the wind blowing there. Then nana vanakula upanta chaya satata shitalam. So nana vana akula upanta. Those forests, the trees, not so dense, they are not allowing the sunlight to go inside. Therefore, any time of the year day you go, they are very cooling. बहुत शीतलम. And this also again you might have seen in some forest areas, dense ones. If you get a chance to go, all sides the trees are so dense that sunlight never falls inside. You can feel that coolness. पूरे हवा में ठंडगी होती है और जमीन पे अब चलते हो बिना चप्पल का, यू कैन फील दैट कूलनेस. इमेजिन दोज योर ट्रिप्स ट्रैवल्स, यू मस्ट हैव गॉन डेफिनेटली, है ना. मजा आता है वो वाला. बट एक दिन के लिए यू कांट स्टे देयर. वी आर हैबिचुएटेड टू ऑल द कंफर्ट्स ऑफ द सिटीज. बट एक दिन जाकर भाग के आने के लिए ओके, है ना. स्पेशली इन द रेनी सीजन व्हेन यू गो इनटू दैट माउंटेन एरियाज, और घर वगैरह भी अंदर भी जहां भी पाओ लगा ठंडा ही रहता. एनीथिंग यू टच, इवन द टच वुड आल्सो नॉट हॉट, इट इज आल्सो कोल्ड. एनी मेटल थिंग यू टच इट, इतनी ठंड होता. और फर्श अगर पत्थर भी हो, लेट अस से पॉलिश्ड वाला है, you cannot walk only barefoot. So in that way, that whole place is cold as well as marshy or wet because of not no entry of the sunlight. So athate lalane, this is up to this is a mountain varnana. Now the grama varnana. Athate lalane tatra tada dadrushatuh swayam tam giri gramakam vyomnaha swarga khandamiva chutam. So atha, thereafter te lalane, those two women, Saraswati Mata, Leela ji, tatra, there, tada, at that time, dadrushatu swayam, themselves have seen tam giri gramakam, that grama between that, in front of that mountain. How was that to begin with? Vyomnaha swarga khandam chutam iva. From the akasha, a part of the swarga is broken and fallen down. That way, Swarga Khanda Rupa Samana was that Grama and its appearance. How many poets have written when they saw the villages or the mountain areas or valleys, comparing them with the Swarga. I can, you can see those 1960s से लेकर 90s के बीच में 30 years में how many गाने came in all languages of India describing the beauty of the forest, the झरने और rivers और villages. ये तो स्वर्ग ही है कह के. मुझे याद नहीं है अभी. You can remember. So, like a Swarga Khanda fallen was this Giri Grama. Then Ratat Pranali Vatalam uh, Purna Pushkarini Ganam Dvijai Kucha Kuchai Kujat Swalila Shobhrakachakam. See, Ratat Pranali Patalam. So there is a sound of those, well, when the water is pulled from it through the rassi, those wooden things make a vichitra sound. That is a Ratat Pranali Patalam sound. A typical village sound. Like in cities, you have a typical its own sound of whistles of cookers if it is a clustered houses or some other things. So there Pranali Patalka Ratat sound was heard. Purna Pushkarani Ganam. So many beautiful lakes were there, chote wale ponds, Purna Pushkarani. Pushkarani means water, filled with water in that Giri Grama. Then Vijayhi Kuchakuchaihi Kujat. Swalila Shwabhra Kachakam. So these birds playing with each other, enjoying the drinks of that water, drinking water, and the trees and the fruits, they are making their own kucha kucha dhvani. So द्विजय ही कुछ कुछ ही कूजत, कुछ कुछ करके सारे द्विज आवाज कर रहे. द्विज means the birds. Birds are called dvija because they are born twice. First they are born as anda, then anda broken, then the bird comes out. That's how they are also called dvija. Like the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya also are called dvija because of their samskara. That Upanayana samskara. So, Gachad Govrunda Hunkara Karala Khila Kunjakam Kunja Gulmaka Khandadhyam Sachaya Ghanashadvalam. So, Gachad Govrunda Hunkara. So, the Govrunda, the herd of the cows moving, and they are making their amba type of sounds. ये भी मैंने तो सुना बाबा बचपन में. इन आवर विलेजेस एंड ऑल, इवनिंग टाइम सब लोग पास के जंगल से अपने सारे गौ वगले आते थे. then each of them making their sounds. A different joy it was. Not once. And those days we used to see a lot. आजकल के बच्चे सब बेचारे पता ही नहीं कैसे में होता था. सो गच्छत गोवृंद हुंकार कराला अखिल कुंजकम. So, Kunja Gulmaka Khandadyam. So, there are beautiful shrubs there, variety of Gulma, the Latas were there. Sachaya Ganashadvalam. So, because of that beautiful Chaya around and Ganashadvalam, very thick, dense grass wale jagah bhi the wahan. Maybe for the animals to graze there. So that sort of village Varnana. Dushpravesharka Kiranam Drushanihara Dhusaram Udagramanjari Punja Jatalam Vishikhantaram. So some of the places in that again full of trees, sunrays also cannot enter. Dushpravesha Arka Kiranam Drushan Nihara Dhusaram. Some places Nihara, the full of the snow, dhusaram, other place dust. So dust covered places, snow covered places, dense trees, not allowing sunlight to go inside. Those are the patches places they were traveling and they are seeing. Udagra Manjari Punja Jatalambi Shikhantaram. So again, the trees, on the tree, these creepers have gone up, and they with lots of bunches of flower, they are looking so beautiful, and they are hanging below, appearing like the jata of the women or anybody. Jata जैसे पीछे ना, like that they are. These are all the village scenes. Most of us have seen more than once. अभी भी आप जाओ थोड़ा रिमोट जगह पे, अभी भी दिखेंगे कलयुग में. एंड हम जाएंगे तो उसको पिकनिक स्पॉट बना के कुछ ही दिन में सिटी बनाकर उसको सत्यानाश कर देते हैं. देन शिला कुहर वासपाल प्रोच्चलन मुक्त निर्जरैः स्मारिताचल निर्धूत क्षीरोदक जलश्रियम. So from some places there are the water falling, but not on the land, but there is a stone surface below. Because of that, the fallen water is again getting reflected, sprinkled to fall all around. That scene also seen, and they were also looking like the Motyam Kitara, Smarita Achala Nirdhuta Kshirodaka Jalashriyam. So, when Milky Ocean was churned, when the milk drops were falling hither and thither because of the speed of the churning, how it used to look. So too, when the water was falling onto the stone surfaces, the water from there, what do you call it, rebounding and falling here and there, appearing like that Kshira Sagara Samaya, the milk falling here and there. This is how the village will be explained, then the human beings will be explained, only to say that this is how all these, while Varnana is done, appearing to be so real. And when you go to the Vedantic inquiry, all of them are in the Chitta Kalpana only. रियलिटी में एक रियलिटी ही है. अदर देन रियलिटी एवरीथिंग इज अनरियल. Okay, to all continue. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramanshibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Today we have seen this beautiful description of the Giri and little of Grama. Will continue. So can you join for the study of Vakya Vritti? Find time. Hari Om.